This is video 11. What I'm going to show you in this video is how to add a final board from a vinyl board. So I'm just going to move in a little bit. So let's say we're going to take some final boards and serve them from this DB2 board. So what I can do is insert an electrical final board and place it on the layout. Now, because this is balanced, when I go in and put in a load, it's going to assume it's a balanced load. So if I intend connecting from this distribution board into final DB7, I would then need to make sure that the appropriate balanced way type is set up, because that is currently a TP and N, implying an imbalance, implying a neutral. So what I'd have to do is go into way number 2, distribution board number 2, into ways, change phase, and select the particular phase that I want to change, then change that to the balanced version. Exit final circuits. Now I'm in a position from the insert electrical menu to put my cable in and then connect into the distribution board, putting in the cable details. That then enables me to calculate. A point worth bearing in mind is that this board here could be, for example, a 100 amp board. So if I went in to change this to a 100 amp board, the standard device on here is a C60 type B, which are only rated to 63. So I would need to make sure that I change the device. If I run a calculation, see, it's telling me no CPD large enough because the type of device on DB2, the general type, has been set up to a C60H. So when you have instances like this, what you need to do, and you would always normally edit the device on the cable. So when you run the calculation, there you go, you then edit the cable. So I would then change that to a, let's say, a BS88 and OK that. That may well then impose discrimination problems, because I've now got a BS88 being serviced by previous BS88 here, which may be of a smaller rating. And you can see that's added the rating to the board here. So as you start adding final boards from final board, you can find that if you start trying to cure your discrimination issues as you build up the project, you're making life difficult for yourself. Get the data in there first, make your proper breaker selections, run the numbers, and then start changing your devices to suit the prevailing conditions. Otherwise you'll make life difficult for yourself. So for the purposes of the demo, I've just resumed this back to the original device type, the 25 amp load. The other sort of load we need to look at is if I was adding an imbalance load. So for example, if I'm inserting a distribution board and I separate the ways out separately when I place it, so when I place the board, if I untick the balance box, I can then apply the separate loadings on each phase. When I then insert my cable from a TP&N way, I'm then able to connect in. So it's important that you appreciate the difference between the TP and the TP&N when actually adding your cables in. So what I'm going to do now is introduce a single phase board. So I'll just move these boards around. What I'm doing is moving the board, and if I click on the horizontal bit of cable and then drag up with the left hand button of my mouse, I can rearrange the cable. So they're quite easy to arrange. You just select the center section of the cable, so it's sort of cyan colour, and then you just move it up and down to suit your arrangement. So what I'll then do is move back in again, and I'll enter a single phase board. So if I was entering another board now, and let's say I'm feeding it from one of the single phases, so let's say I'm feeding it from way 5L1, what I would do is put my distribution board in, place it on the layout, say right, I've got 15 amps on way 5L1, and then insert my cable and go for way number 5, L1, and connect into the distribution board as we did before. And again, you can go into the boards and set them up as you would do normally. You could have set the boards up totally in isolation and set all the circuits up individually and then connected the cable in, making sure that the appropriate phase arrangement is set up. So we've discussed 3 different types of board: a single phase, TP&N, and a TP.